Where would he go? He may have a lot of choices. Of all the first basemen I've talked about, he's the only one under 35 years of age. So, let's take a look and follow C.J. Cron. I have him on some of my fantasy teams. Do you have him on some of yours? If you don't, maybe you should pick him up. He to me is intriguing, and I look for him to put up some big numbers this year for the Detroit Tigers. Let's move to second base, shall we? And there's quite a few at this position that intrigue me, none less than DJ LeMahieu of my New York Yankees. That's right, DJ LeMahieu, who last year the word was, well, now he's out of Colorado. He's just not going to be the player he was. The Yankees were looking at DJ LeMahieu. They were looking at Manny Machado, and they went with LeMahieu. Great choice, particularly at the price. You consider Manny went for over $30 million a year. And look what LeMahieu did. Out of Colorado, in New York, he hits .327. He scores 109 runs. He hits 26 homers. He drives in 102. And just for small change, he throws in 5 stolen bases. An incredible year. An MVP type year. And he plays all over the place. First base, second base, his natural position, third base. And he's going to be a free agent. Will the Yankees open up the pocketbook and pay DJ? Or will he become a free agent and take his wares somewhere else? He's got the options. And another year in New York, close to or similar to, he didn't have to put up those same numbers on a prorated schedule. But if he puts up similar numbers proportionately, he's going to have a big payday. A really big payday. So, I guess the question is with DJ, does he continue at this pace? I mean, do you really think he's a 26 homer, 327 kind of guy with 109 runs? What do you think? I mean, you didn't think last year he'd put it up. And it's all what we think. I mean, you get on the field, let's see what they do. The other thing we got to think about with these batters, now we go back, we stop spring training, and this applies to everyone, okay? We were into spring training, they were getting their timing down, and they stopped. Just like that. Now they've got to come back, get timing back. I think the early part of the season, though it's going to be warmer than it would have been in April, I think the early part of the season is definitely going to favor the pitcher. Particularly when you consider they're probably going to go out, the pitchers, they're going to go out and not have, not going to throw 120 pitches the first week. That's not going to happen. You're going to go out, you're going to throw your innings, you get your work in, your bullpens will come in. Hitters are going to have their timing off. And you've only got a certain amount of games to get the timing back together. So your power hitters versus your line drive hitters, who benefits, who to their detriment with the shortened season, with the cutoff, with the coming back, the timing. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Are you guys watching the South Korean baseball? I got to admit, I'm getting up kind of early in the morning and I'm turning it on. And it's interesting to me, maybe coincidental, that when ESPN starts showing Korean baseball, now Major League Baseball starts saying, hey, we got a plan. It's interesting. Interesting. How about some more free agents? How about, here's one, a lesser known or lesser publicized second baseman, Cesar Hernandez, who signed a contract, 1-year deal with Cleveland. Last year in Philly, 279, 77 runs, 14 homers, 71 RBIs, 9 stolen bases. Big chance for Cesar to come back and do his thing and do it well and become a free agent and sign another contract. I think he's going to put up good numbers. I think he's going to really do well. I think that Cleveland got a deal for 1 year. So now that he's a free agent after this year, all the incentive in the world for him to come out and have a bust out 1 year for the Tribe so that his market price rises. And I think even with the shortened season, the type swing he's got, the type player he is, he will do well for the Cleveland Indians this year. Here's a player, free agent to be, Jonathan Schoop. How many of you guys are feeling like Jonathan Scope's going to be like a beast this year for Detroit? I do. You know, he signs a free agent contract, doesn't work out, then he becomes a platoon player. I don't care who you are. You got to have regular ABs to get the rhythm down. And last year, even in a limited role, he hit 23 homers with a .256 average. The Twins went with a different player, a different production. It cost Schoop time the last 2 years. The Twins designated him for assignment following 2019. He played just 121 games. It was his lowest total since 2015. He's just 28 years old, people. 28. Incredible power. Going to play every day in Detroit. Going to be a free agent at the end of the year. I think Schoop has now the opportunity in his age 28 season, prime years, guys, to really show the value that he possesses. I think in fantasy leagues, he is a steal. I bet he's on some waiver wires. If you're in a 8 to 10 team league, I bet he's on some waiver wires. Now, if you're in a 12, 14, no. He's gone. He's on a team. True. And that's the thing about fantasy shows. You can hear about a player, but you got to make it fit your league, right? So, keep your eye on Schoop. Another player that I really like at second base. And I think I'm going to close off the show with this one today. Because I want to spend a little time talking about Kolten Wong. Kolten Wong, second baseman, St. Louis Cardinals, entering his age 30 season, a $12.5 million option for the Cardinals, and it's a $1 million buyout. I think the Cardinals may say walk. And Kolten Wong, he's got some great tools. Last year, he hit .285. He stole 24 bases. To me, you talk about a tease. Kolten Wong has been the fantasy tease for the last few years. Just about the time you think he's gonna bust out, he's on the bench. Until 2019. 11 homers, .285 average, 24 stolen bases. 24 for 28 in stolen bases. That's 83%, in case you're wondering. Gold Glove defense. Now, not for fantasy purposes, but I tell you this. Here's where it is fantasy relevant. Wong's Gold Glove is fantasy relevant for this reason. Because due to the fact he has a Gold Glove, he's going to play every day. The Gold Glove defensive capabilities give Kolten Wong everyday possibilities to excel in fantasy. He'll stay in the lineup. Now, he'll hit low in the order probably. That's going to hurt him. But he's going to steal bases. And let's think about it this way. Let's say Colton Wong is hitting 8th in that Cardinal order. And now we've got a universal DH. Instead of a pitcher hitting behind Colton Wong, who can't hit, who can't drive in runs, now you've got a legitimate major league hitter. So if Wong steals a base, then he's also a threat to score a run. His run production, when you factor out the season and prorate it out, his run production should increase in 2020. I think his power numbers either remain the same or increase. The batting average is finally coming around, and he's always been a stolen base threat. So how many of us are champing at the bit, waiting to see Colton Wong, waiting to see what he produces in 2020, and how that could affect his free agent year? Remember, 30 years old, Cardinal buyout, $12.5 million option with a $1 million buyout option for the Cardinals. Might the Cardinals decide to keep him in St. Louis? Hey, you put up another year of 285 with 25 bags, Gold Glove defense. I think if they could sign him close to where they got him, yeah, they may keep him. But the Cardinals are always crafty with the Tommy Edmonds of the world, right? They've always got these players, like when Colton Wong was a younger kid. They've got these players at the minor league level they seem to bring up who hatch and become these I can steal bases, I can hit for average kind of guys. And it seems like they can all feel their position. It'll be a dilemma, an interesting question to see how the Colton Wong free agent season 2020 plays out. Hey, it's been great being with you today. We'll pick this up next week. We'll talk more potential free agents. I appreciate you being with me today. Listen in for the rest of our podcasters, the network. We're loaded. Hey, and what else have you got to do? We don't have baseball to watch, so we've got baseball to listen to, right? Thank you for being with me this morning here on Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports on the Lenny Melnick Fantasy Sports Network. Lenny, happy birthday again, and everyone have a great day.